Hello and welcome. This is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh?
What's going on? Eeks. The feedback there. All right. All right. Well. Yeah, I just got a email from Raven. This is a real quick, this case in Australia. It's pretty weird when you just look at it, but I think I know what it is. CCTV has emerged capturing some of the final moments of a Logan mother and her baby girl before they were found dead in their home south of Brisbane. So right here, this picture. Oh wait, you can't see it very good on that screen. Hold on. Maybe that one. Yeah, there you go. Right there, right? Kate Patterson, 38. Hey, thanks to girl, 8 months. And her 1 year and daughter April were found, 1-year-old daughter April were found dead with stab wounds in their family Bannockburn home yesterday after the child's father, 39-year-old Blake Sears, was struck by a vehicle just a few hundred meters away. So and then it says officers responded to the guy, the father who was hit by a vehicle, and then went to the home to notify the family, but instead found Patterson and April dead with injuries. So what I think's happened is a murder-suicide. The father killed both, or the father of the child killed the mother and the child, then intentionally let himself be hit by a car. Hey, look, I got the sounds back. Isn't that sweet? Yeah, I got the sounds back though, you guys. Somebody's got to do one of the avocados in here. But I think that this was a murder-suicide with the father intentionally allowing himself to be hit by a vehicle after he killed both of them. I mean, while it sounds like, wow, that's crazy, this psycho killer, might be something else, but man, I just think the odds of that are so low. That one of them has to be, What do you guys think of that one? Well, I just think that's what you do. I mean, there's a lot of tough ways people do it. Drowning, for God's sakes. That's tough. That's stupid. And it does say, somewhere in here, let's see. Officers responded to Sears' injuries, had gone to the home to notify his family, but instead found Patterson and April dead with injuries consistent with an edged weapon. And then somewhere down here it said that he's alive at the hospital though, this guy. Well, so it's not a suicide because he's alive, but apparently he's still alive at the hospital and he's being guarded by the cops. So I think that's what his intentions were, to take his life. I just I don't see that part. But it was like a suicide attempt. All right. Right there. Sears remains in the hospital under police guard after being admitted yesterday in serious condition. Why would you have police guard? Oh, there's this killer chasing them all down. What am I looking at? Hey, it's Marty's Bar and Grill. He said he will send in, which is always so generous of him, the $50 worth of coffees if 10 of you guys give one channel membership. All right, so there's a challenge. Look, Wild Bill Wassman jumps in there. You can always count on him. He jumps in. There you go. So, we need 9 more of those. What do you guys think? You think there's any chance in hell that this is somebody tracked down the dad and ran him over and then drove to the house and then went inside and stabbed a baby? And no. This is probably something else. I bet this guy met somebody else. He doesn't want to be with her anymore, or they were about to get divorced, or something of that nature. And it's weird too, because I think they're right here in this picture together, right? This is hours before. So why in the writing does it say that this picture emerged of the mother and the child? Like, you're not even adding the dad that's in there, right? Or whoever this guy is. I don't know if he's the actual. Well, it says Kate Patterson, 38, and April were found dead. Yeah, and the father's child. So that's the father's child, so they might not be married. Blake Sears. Hey, thanks, Mary Melinda. Also, Joel Burnt. Let's see, let me do it like that. So we had Wild Bill Wassman, Crowley 13, Joel Burnt, and Mary Melinda. Thank you. All right, we need 6 more of those. I'll let you guys deal with that. All right. So there's one thing. Does anybody know where the actual glove was found? The one that led back to the guy at the restaurant? Yeah, I don't know where the Mexican restaurant is, but they apparently they're still. They're questioning the people that work at that restaurant, which is interesting, right? So the glove led back. Are they still really focused in on that guy? That'd be crazy. Because if they're still asking questions there, and they know that the glove that they found, looked similar, but it led to an employee there. Why are they asking questions? Are they trying to see if they're still trying to look into that one individual? Thank you to Girl. All right, so here are some. I'm trying to work this new screen that I'm using, so hold on. Did that one? Oh yeah, I can turn that off like that. There you go. For now. On Campbell Street? I don't know. Well, I know I have this, there's a glove found here and here. I don't know where the one that they found, apparently it wasn't one of these two. And I'm not sure which Mexican restaurant it was close to. Or maybe it was, oh, there it is right here. I think. Did I already have this marked for, oh wait, no, that was just what I searched. But that is a Mexican restaurant right there, and it's in generally the right area. All right, you guys, we need 5 more gifted memberships to meet Marty's challenge up there. Be a good start to the show. We did an earlier live stream, and it was, other than one person that gifted a lot of memberships, it was just very little support. So if you guys have the ability to, that'd be great. Yeah, I did, Karen, and I'm trying to go over it tonight. Do you mind? Thanks. All right, let's see. We've got Gray. I may be late, but have you heard the recent BBC article? Yeah, I mean, what do you? Let me go over the articles, you guys. Can you wait about 2 minutes? You guys are incredible. It's wild. Didn't you read the title of the video itself? Yeah. And, you know, so I guess I'll just have to say it now since it was typed in. But yeah, apparently they found a whole bunch of other images and so forth, and they're not releasing those. But people go, why not, man? Maybe no. They shouldn't. If they don't want to release those images, that means they're unrelated, and all it would do was make people like JLR and all the other people search the background of totally innocent people or use it to further their belief that somebody did it. They would never give them arrest. You'll see somebody just standing there in a September 7th. They're standing at the door, and somehow they're a suspect now. So there's no way in hell you would release images like that unless you come up with there's a reason for it. It's that night or another night, and they're wearing the same thing. You know, some kind of a. Thanks, Danny Mitchell. All right, here's a clip.
County Sheriff Chris Nanos giving an update on the search for Nancy Guthrie nearly 6 weeks since her disappearance.
Do you think that this suspect could strike again, whoever did this?
Well, absolutely. We believe we know why he did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. And so it'd be silly to tell people, yeah, don't worry about it. You're not.
County Sheriff Chris Nanos.
Do you think that this suspect could strike again, whoever did this?
Well, absolutely. We believe we know why.
I mean, it's weird that he would say absolutely. You know? And they believe they know why they did it. What would be a reason that you could think of the why that you would say absolutely? So that's sort of the key here is what is he's saying we think we know why they did it, and then he says absolutely they could do it again. Hey, wow, thanks to girl. There you go. The challenge was met. All right. And thanks again, Marty's Bar and Grill. What do you guys think? I just asked a question. What do you guys think about that? If you say that we think we know why they did it, and so is it like a kidnapping for ransom? Is it kidnapping for some other reason? I mean, it's just kind of strange. Yeah, I mean, sexually motivated. If it was sexually motivated, the only way they would know that is if they actually had DNA at this point, sperm or something. That's it. That's the only way they would know that. I don't know if there's a way without the body. Yeah, can somebody in here say how they would know that there was a sexual assault if there's no body to look at? I don't know if there's a way to figure that out. Maybe certain fluids or something. I don't know. I just... Gray, support always 100%. What? Yeah, they remove the body. No, I'm saying remove the body doesn't mean that there was a sexual assault. That doesn't mean that at all. What I'm saying is what in the house would let you think that? So I don't know. He's sitting here saying absolutely this person could do it again. I mean, I guess it's true. If you don't catch somebody, even if it's for an abduction, for ransom, if it was a murder, a robbery gone wrong, a murder for hire, etc., anything that you go through, if you haven't caught the guy, you could still do it, right? All right.
He did this, and we believe.
Yeah, there isn't anybody on TV. I don't think anybody likes this person. I just think the media's gone a little overboard sometimes.
That it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. And so it'd be silly to tell people.
Now look what Marty said. He said, thank you all for participating in the challenge and making it a success. Freaks rule. All right.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're not his target. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to the Guthrie family, you're safe. No.
And thanks, Sherry.
Keep your wits about you.
We pressed Nanos about that potential motive.
There is something that's come out in the investigation that gives you a sense of motive here and why this person did this?
You know, I think it's come out from day one.
Okay, well, so what does that mean? From day one?
I think from day one, we had some strong beliefs about what happened, and those beliefs haven't diminished.
Do you believe it was a burglary gone wrong?
I'm not going to get into those theories. We have our beliefs. Everybody else has theirs.
Nanos says he's intentionally withholding their theory and other
You
details.
can see why people don't really like him that much.
In the case, citing the integrity of the investigation. He confirmed investigators have been asking about potential internet issues the night of Nancy's abduction and said they're looking into the possibility a Wi-Fi jammer could have been used or if there was some other electrical disruption that night. The sheriff also says he's still hopeful the DNA found in the home will lead to the suspect. Liz Kreutz, NBC News.
It's worth we'll probably listen to that again later. Just trying to decipher what the hell he's saying. Nancy Guthrie, cops believe they know exactly why she was targeted. So, I mean, I guess this is probably going to be a repeat, but let's see what they're saying. As the search for Nancy Guthrie nears the end of its 6th week, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos has said investigators now believe they know why. So it's not like know why. No, now they know why. He just said a minute ago, well, we've known since the beginning. It's almost would be worth it to go back to some of his early interviews that he did off, you know, just with random stations, etc. He probably says something. That's right. So while you're watching, you guys, if you guys could help support the channel, we need to have a good night here. Making up for a previous couple days this month. Or every day this month hasn't been great, but they've been okay, right? Like, but we're just trying to, you know, we're almost halfway through the month here. Let's see what we can do. So if you want to do some challenges like Marty did with gifting channel memberships or super chats, that would be awesome. Thank you. As the search for Nancy Guthrie nears the end of its 6th week, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos has said investigators now believe they know why the 84-year-old was targeted. Appearing on NBC News on Thursday evening, March 12th, Nanos, who is leading the investigation into Nancy's presumed abduction, was asked if the suspects may strike again. Absolutely, Nanos said. We believe we know why he did this. And I think what they're going for is the abduction for ransom. I think that's what they're thinking. Why? We believe they know why he did this. That it was targeted, and we're not 100% sure of that. So they're just saying we believe, but we're not 100% sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't be 100% sure. But that's what he's saying. What do you guys think of that? I actually think they think it's an abduction for ransom that maybe went wrong. Something of that nature. She probably, we don't have information about her credit cards or anything they sound like they're all there, purse, etc., but we don't know, right? Do we really even know? Hey, thank you. Hellyfly83. 18 months. Missy 6. Hellyfly. We also had where was that? T-Girl, 8 months. All right. You survived. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like there's two different investigations going on here. The FBI and them. He continued, and so it'd be silly to tell people, yeah, don't worry about it. You're not his target. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to Guthrie's family, you're safe. No, keep your wits about you. However, he refused to elaborate on specific, adding, we have our beliefs, everybody else has theirs. Nano said he was intentionally withholding theories and details to protect the integrity of the case. Well, his theory, he doesn't have a different theory than that's already been put out there 1,000 times. Nancy, the mother of today, Savannah Guthrie, has been missing since January 31st when police believe she was abducted from her home in Tucson, Arizona. Since then, investigators have released doorbell camera footage of a masked suspect and shared description of the potential abductor. No suspects have been named. There is a kidnapper and a potential murderer on the streets who will be their target. Coffindaffer wrote on. I mean, it's so weird that she gets so much like cred articles and stuff when, you know, we've been saying all the same thing the whole time. There's nothing different there. It's crazy. I think as long as you have a lot of, I mean, if you have a lot of experience doing this, you know what the realities are likely going to be. And we've covered, I don't know, I've done this for 8 years, live streaming, and we've covered thousands, literally thousands of different cases. New security image uncovered in Nancy Guthrie's abduction case, but they don't show it. Of course, they load up a picture and you go, oh, wow, 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 look at that. That's not new. I mean, it's so stupid that they tell you about a new video that's uncovered, and then they literally upload one of the ones that we've already had. Oh, Ellie Cake, she sent me an email. She said she wasn't feeling that good. She was she was here earlier, I think, though. But yeah, she was, wasn't feeling that good. Authorities investigating the suspected abduction of Nancy Guthrie have uncovered additional images from her home security cameras, according to law enforcement sources, but nothing new from the night of the abduction and nothing... What is that? But nothing new from the night of the abduction and nothing considered a major break in the case. So why do anything? I mean, didn't we all... I assumed that they had other video from other times, so why is it a story? Oh my god, yo, man, they got other images, you guys. They got more footage. They got more footage. It's just not from the same night and irrelevant to the case. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of putting that out there? I don't know. I guess it's amazing how you can have a whole article about nothing. You know, like literally there's nothing. Guthrie is the 84-year-old mother. Yeah, and then you do the whole recap again. And the images were taken in the days and weeks leading up to her disappearance and were recovered from 3 separate cameras. And I think we know where those cameras are, which is pretty interesting. These are the ones that we've always talked about. I think there's a camera on the front door here. There's a camera, I think, right in the front of this, showing the garage area. And then one here showing that whole backyard area, which is pretty good coverage. It doesn't help this area very much. Somebody could get through right there, but, you know, if there's a camera, literally you can see it sticking out right there. And that dark patch right here is literally the solar panel that they had on the roof. Then there's another camera, I think that's right over here. There is a floodlights right there that were broken. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. Which statement, Joel? Which one? And how about the rest of you guys? If you guys could help support the channel, that would be great. We keep relying on the same people over and over again. It'd be nice if some of the rest of you would jump in and help support the channel. As you know, my channel takes thousands of dollars out of the income each month, and we send it off to various true crime related charities. We've given $289,000 since January of 2020. We have a DNA fund and a scholarship fund that we just funded, and we're obviously start building. We're on our 4th round of scholarships, equaling $24,000. I think that's all good stuff. Hey, thanks, South Texas guy. And that's just, what we do at the end of the month is we just take a large portion of the income that comes in. Of course, there's a certain amount that, the channel needs to survive, obviously. And then after that, I try to do right around like 30 to 35% of the gross income from all sources, meaning ad revenue, super chats, etc., goes to true crime related charities. That way we make a big difference outside of just doing the shows. And I think our shows make a big difference because we cover true crime the correct way, using logic, reason, common sense, the facts of a case, and put it together and see what's happening. We don't wildly speculate. I know that's fun and entertaining, but we're not. This is, of course you want it to be enjoyable on your show, but that's not what the point is. We're trying to figure out what the hell happened, not make stuff up for likes, clicks, and views. All right. Hey, thanks, Paul Marino. The images were taken in the days and weeks leading up to her disappearance and were recovered from 3 separate cameras at Guthrie's front door. Oh, let's see, over her driveway in the backyard. Oh, boom. It just went on and explained it. But yeah, that's exactly what we've always thought. Law enforcement officials close to the Guthrie case tells Fox News there's no new video. In a statement to Fox News Digital, the Pima County Sheriff's Department said they are continuing to analyze various forms of evidence. And what sucks about it? The 2 cameras that were in the back, on that other building. So law enforcement, I think, should probably change their protocols in the future, is to absolutely, from a stealthy angle, remove cameras from, immediately, and turn them off. Because probably what happened here was when law enforcement shows up, they're walking around, a day in, they're moving around, who knows how many hours people walked around setting off the motion sensor that would then write over any of the footage that was already there because they hadn't paid the bill. So they didn't pay the bill, and every time a video is put up there, apparently it's sort of set in already deleted, and then the next video can write right over that position. It's just not in a form to view it, but they know how to back engineer it. But you'd almost have to immediately turn those suckers off, because as people are walking around, there's way more chances for it to be written over, since it's automatic. Automatically records and then writes over sectors that already had video. You would think they would have already been able to find that stuff by now, right? Any images that were available, they would have got. Hey, thank you. Horse teeth, cow teeth. What kind of a name is that? What does that mean? Horse teeth, cow teeth. Does that mean you have 2 huge, massive front teeth, and then your back teeth are sort of more like big molars that crush a salad and stuff, It's like Norwegian almost. Just, you rip the carrot apart, You talking to me, Tiggerl? Yeah, we know they're thumbnails. I was the one that told everybody that the image that without the backpack is probably just a thumbnail. That's why it's not as clear. Yeah. I was the one that actually brought that up first. They might collect the teeth of herbivores. It was a joke from my daughter. Horse teeth, cow teeth. Well, tell us what the joke is. What's the joke? That's pretty funny. Yeah, I like it because it's not normal. I like the names that aren't really normal, you know. The images were first reported by ABC News and have not been made public. They were described to reporters by sources close to the case. Yeah, I'm not really sure, you know, like let's say there's a video that's 3 minutes long and then another video is recorded and it starts writing over. Are they able to back engineer just the portion that didn't get written over? See, that's the part that's weird to me. It's like they must still be able to create video files. That's why there's these gaps in the motion.
All the NG stories like this article with no new news really, yet missing retired Major General William Neil McCaslin gets almost zero coverage.
Yeah, we covered it. We've covered him 3 times now. Tony Morrow. Yeah. We covered him last night. There's nothing else to talk about, though. You know, the problem with that case is there's no information at all. If they released surveillance footage of him walking around, the case would be way bigger. They haven't released anything. Nobody knows anything. And that's their fault. Nobody else's. You know, they're not providing any information. So there's really nothing to talk about in that one. This case, you know, at least we're getting little pieces and chunks of information. Just stuff to talk about based on what literally the officials are saying. We don't have any information in the general that's missing. Nothing. They haven't given us a damn thing. Even though I've looked at it twice now. And last night was cool. You guys should have watched the end of last night's show, man. We did like 2 hours on the Roswell incident through the newspaper articles and then putting it together with recent accounts by the same people that were in the original articles and how it mentions Wright Field, even in 1947 articles where they said, yeah, Wright Field is where they sent the parts that they collected. And then this general worked at the same Wright Field. So it's too bad you didn't show up. It was pretty good. The revelation comes hours after Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos told Guthrie's network NBC that the suspect could absolutely strike again and there is a danger to the public. See, and I think that's the right answer, don't you think? See, that answer right there isn't one that you should bash or diss on. That is the answer. I mean, remember in the Delphi case, after 2 little girls were killed, the sheriff said, oh, we don't think there's any, there's no danger. Just go out and do your stuff. What do you, and then, hey, thanks, Roger Smith. Then the other Indiana State Police guy that was there, he said, no, I'd be vigilant, you guys. How can you say that everything's safe when you haven't even caught the guy yet? And now, you know what it does kind of make you think of, though, you guys? Look at it like this. So his belief and his department obviously does not believe it's a family member. It just clicked in my head just now. Because if it was a family member, he wouldn't say that he thinks the community is still at risk. He would know that it was a specific target, like a one-time deal. You know what I mean? If you're saying that the public's still in danger, that means you're thinking of it. This is sort of a person that does this type of thing. Do you get it? It wasn't like a hired, maybe not a hired hit scenario that he believes. Well, ransom gone wrong is the same thing, you know. I don't know. I think it's still like a ransom gone wrong just means that this person might try a ransom again and is capable of harming the person again, you know, something like that. All right. Okay, who's going to do the next challenge in here, you guys? Be great to get a great start in here so they're just a smooth show. How do we do it? Her front doorbell camera is missing, but other home security cameras were taken into evidence. So that's the other two, right? And see, doesn't that prove my original theory that I came up with first in here again, was when I said he removed the front camera because he knew that he was going to be moving his car in that little parking area right there. He didn't remove the other cameras. He didn't even care that he was being filmed. What he cared about was that his car was going to be filmed when it pulled up the front here, because he went into the house to abduct Nancy Guthrie. That's it. So that's why he was there. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Lynn. You're all over the place. All right, separately, Nanos confirmed that investigators are looking into some kind of power or internet outage the morning of Nancy's abduction, but he said it was not connected to a utility box around the corner from the home. Okay, that's what I thought. Showing signs of having been tampered with. But he said it was not connected to that utility box. So he was thinking, he's probably still thinking the jammer angle. But here's the thing, you guys. How did the jammer work? It didn't even disrupt the video at all. It looked crystal clear on the front camera. If he had it on and it's in his pocket, you know, it didn't work. But how did it work at the neighbor's house, but not the one he was at? Oh boy, we're in one of these modes again, you guys. Who's going to take the bull by the horns and do a challenge or help support the channel in some way? We got to have a good night tonight. Oh yeah, check this thing out. I found this picture in my folder. Look how clear this is. We didn't need to sit there and look in the dark and count these bricks. Look how clear that one is. So you could literally have it go 1, 2, but look at how thick the grout is. That looks like almost an inch. That's huge, or an inch and a half, the thick grout lines there. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Probably a better way to do this is actually to go right here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and probably, you know, like 20 up there would reach right there. So 20 bricks. Yeah, I scared my, yeah. Ah, boy, back to Lowell City, you guys. Lowell City. I really thought this was going to be a different night tonight. It is. We do know that. We do know that. That is from the night. We do know that. Preschool Sayers. Yeah, 100%. It's from that night. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in the jammer or the electrical, that little box down the street. Okay? I don't believe in it. Hey, whoa, it's Girl again. Should have done get a challenge going there. And Michelle H. Thank you. Look at that. 5 and then Michelle H there. Very cool. Become a channel member and get discounts on merch. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right, so we're going to move on to... I have a whole bunch of these questions, but look at that. That's a really good piece of reference material that I can use. Look at it, guys. A great shot of the door and everything. It's perfect. I get what's the regular height of a front door? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 times 4, which is 80, what is it, 76, right? So 76 inches. And how tall is that? Hey, look at that. Wild Bill Wassman is going to do a 5 for 5-er. So if we get 5 gifted memberships, they'll donate 5 themselves. That'll make a big difference. So let's see. 74 inches. So 60 is 5 feet. 72 is 6 feet. And we had it at 70. I guess what we could do is figure out. I don't think so. It's 20 times 4 is 80. So then it's 76 inches because these are 4-inch bricks. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And right at the bottom of the 9, so it's even less than, well, it's right at the top basically. So 19, that's 78. So what's the normal height of a door? Isn't it like, let's see. What is the standard size of a front door? Okay, 80 inches somebody typed in, right? While 36 is the standard, 42 and 8 foot, 96 inch. I don't know. Does anybody know? Like, does anybody in here do construction? What would this height of that be? Because I'm trying to figure out the grout line. These grout. That looks like really thick grout lines here. They look like they're about a 3/4 of an inch. They're that big. Yeah, I didn't. Well, okay. Hey, thank you, Tracy Von Brott. All right, we need 4 more gifted memberships to reach Wild Bill Wassman's challenge. All right, so what do you guys think? Who's in here that knows about the... It says 80 inches, but I don't know. That seems kind of low here. It looks way thicker than it's supposed to be. So I think if we can figure out, and then we could actually count the grout lines and then divide it by the disparity between the height that we get just with the 4-inch bricks and then the how high a normal door is. But let's focus in on reaching Wild Bill Wassman's goal there. See, they're saying 90 taller doors. Could that be a taller one? Taller doors created impressive enhancement and allow more natural light. There can be 96 inches or 8 feet, but I don't think so. That doesn't look 8 feet. I think it's probably just the, I guess 80 inches, and then that would mean, and a lot of I guess sometimes, like if the bricks have a little bit of an angle on the sides, that might do that. Hey, thanks, Michelle H. There's 2 of them. Now, 6.5 feet seems ludicrously low, doesn't it? Like if you were somebody, you'd have to duck to get in. If you're 6'8" or something. Standard metal doors, both steel exterior and metal commercial, are typically 80 inches, 6 feet 8. Well, 6 feet 8 seems reasonable. Okay, so 80 inches. So we just came up with 1, 2. Let's go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And so that's 76. So that means 4 inches of grout. That's crazy. So that means there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 grout lines. And you have to divide that into 4 inches? What the hell you get on that? That's like 1/4 inch. There's no way. Look at this thing. So I'm wondering if the bricks are 4 inches, but they have a little bit of indentation. So when you put the grout on there, it kind of spreads up higher, but the distance between it's really only like 1/4 inch, something like that. What do you think of that? I think that sounds reasonable. All right, do you guys see that up there? We need 3 more gifted memberships to reach Wild Bill Wassman's challenge. Thank you. All right, we're going to do these questions over here. Nah. Alright, we're just going to start all the way over here. So this is there's questions in here. Alright. Man, why can't we reach this goal here, you guys? Jesus. Why show up on camera at all? That's the first question. If the suspect knew the camera existed, why didn't they, why show up on the camera at all if the suspect knew the camera existed? Well, I think because he knew that he wasn't going to be identifiable. What do you guys think? Why didn't they disable the camera before approaching the house? Well, how would you do that? And these are questions I went out and got a couple of the different chat places to give me questions. Why didn't they disable the camera before approaching the home? You mean like using a jammer? I mean, that's a good question. But if the guy was using a jammer, why did he try to put plants in front of it? I don't think that, that's the whole thing. I just don't think the jammer thing has anything to do with anything. Doesn't make sense. But anyways, you guys, on this channel, my channel relies on the people watching to help support the channel. Each month, we donate thousands of dollars out of the income to various true crime-related charities. When we have people in here that do the challenges, it really helps out a lot because it's 2-to-1 on your side. So, like right there, when Katie Corner just sent that in, it's really 2 because Wild Bill Wassman's going to donate 5 channel memberships all by himself. After 5 of you, just do 1. And it really gets us, every single night on the show, we try to raise the income. Some nights it's really frustrating and slow and, very difficult. And it'd be great not to have those. Hey, we got something from Blue Star on X. He says, why did he take his time? He didn't rush. Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think that, I just think he gets there. It's late at night. He knows that Nancy Guthrie lives there all by herself. And he's just quietly doing what he's doing. And then after he disables the camera, he probably wonders if somebody will, it would alert somebody. So I think he waited for 20 minutes or so after removing the camera. And then goes back to the house with the vehicle and parks it right in the front there. That's the whole reason that he removed the camera. So I got Tracy Von Brott, Michelle H., Katie's Corner, and Sassy Squatch. I guess we need one more, you guys. One more. Why show up on... And the next one is, did the offender want to be seen briefly to control the narrative? I mean, that's an interesting thought. We've talked about that. Was the You know, perhaps the way he had the gun in the front there, you know, he wanted to make sure that they knew that he looked like he was right-handed. But maybe he was left-handed. Perhaps that's why he reached down with his left hand to pick up the weeds. I guess we don't know. But wouldn't that be interesting? Hey, thank you, Autumn L. Baker. But we need one more gifted channel memberships, you guys, to reach Wild Bill Wassman's goal. Why show up on camera at all? And then the next one is, was the suspect creating a misleading timeline? See, I don't think so in that case. I think he wanted to... He was just there to block the camera. I guess it's possible, like I said, I mean, waiting 20 minutes changes the timeline, but the timeline is pretty well set. I think he went around, after he drove the car to the front, he then goes around to the back of the house. The camera back here, if it works with this view here, this camera right here filmed him jump over this fence perhaps at 2:12. Then he enters the home, subdues Nancy Guthrie and takes her out of the house at around 2:28. Right out the front there. Hey, look at that. Karen W. There we go. All right. Was the suspect creating a misleading timeline? No. All right, and then was the abduction the real goal? What if the real objective was something inside the house? All right, well, this is, like I said, they formulated the questions. I haven't even gone over them because I want to just, yeah, it's boring when you've already done it. I like to think on my, just as we're going. What if the real objective was something inside the house? Yeah, so I guess, you know, it says right here, what do you guys think of that? Was the real objective, I think it was Nancy, and then down here it says, let me see if this works. Look at this. Hey, I got this little tool now. Where's I can make it thicker too. Was Nancy removed only to gain access to something else? Like, I think what in this one means, like, maybe taking her to a bank machine or a teller to get money. What do you guys think of that? Was Nancy removed only to gain access to something else? Does anybody in here think that she was removed and they were supposed to go to a bank or something and maybe something happened to her before even making it to the bank? It just seems like that doesn't seem... I mean, we don't have any indication that a card or anything was removed. So Kara believes that. Who said that? Who said an illegal did it? I mean, who knows? I mean, if they're... Well, today they said, on Fox News they reported, that the sheriff and the investigators are questioning people at the Mexican restaurant. And I'm assuming that's the same restaurant that the glove led back to the worker there. That's sort of interesting. Right? Hey, everybody. Ta-Girl is back, man. We paused the show. Hey, go check it out. We actually weren't even doing the show when you were gone. Yeah. Was Nancy removed only to gain access to something? Yeah, I don't think so. Alright, then we got this one right here. Extremely, it says, why leave the phone and wallet? Extremely unusual in abductions. I actually disagree with that bullet point. I don't think it's unusual at all to leave the phone and wallet in abductions. In fact, that's why you think somebody was abducted, is because they left the phone and wallet at home and they normally take it with them, right? So you go, oh my God, they must have been abducted or killed and taken somehow, right? I mean, I don't agree with that one. Did the offender want to avoid digital tracing? I don't think, well, yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think they had their phone with them. What do you guys think about that? I don't think they had their phone with them, so they probably did want to avoid digital tracing. Now, they didn't care that they were seen, though, on camera, in my opinion. Sadly, the back two cameras also likely recorded video, but maybe were written over. I still don't have a credible grasp on, I mean, I think I understand it. They didn't pay their bill, so when the video, emotions detected, it records a video, but it's just immediately, basically for lack of a better term, like deleted. So it's able to be written over. It's not protected in any way. So then another motion might write over a portion of the video and then start a new one, and then another motion would write over this part and this, you know, who knows. But I think that's how it works. Now, what are you asking, Lisa? That's your first thing that I've seen from you. Send in a super chat, though. It'll show up right on the screen. I'm not even sure what the hell you're saying. What is poo-poo there? What are you talking about? It was the restaurant that Savannah did the Tucson special at with her ma. Well, is that the same place, though, that the guy worked at? That they traced those gloves back to? Because that was the thing, is they were thinking that the special that was played a few months ago is what led to possibly somebody at the restaurant knowing that. That's right. That's what Fox News was saying. We don't even know what you're saying, Lisa. You'll just have to try a whole new sentence, start over again. And I'm talking about Lisa Vandergrift or something. I don't know. Hey, thanks so much there, Elizabeth Capone Cook. And you know what? I listen to you guys. The people who are members of my channel intentionally create names that are the most difficult names in the history of mankind to pronounce. They're right up there. Hey, by the way, if you're watching right now, and you're going to be lying if you say you can, for anybody that's new out there, try to say hyoid bone 3 times fast. Just quickly. Hyoid bone. You know, the one that they crush? Do it really quick. Hyoid bone. If you say, oh no, I could do it. You see, Gray, I used to... Forget it. You're not telling me the truth. Say hyoid bone 3 times fast. Thank you very much. Hey, thank you again up there, too. Let's see. No, you didn't, Timothy Cecil. You didn't do it. All right, let's see. Here we go. We got toy boat 3. Toy boy. Toy. Yeah, see, it's the same damn thing. Toy boat. Toy boy. Toy boat. Toy boy. Hey, beat. You have to say toy boat. That's hilarious. Ah, Jesus, man, how do you guys do it? Yeah, hyoid bone is harder, though. It's just like, there's no way. I have a witness. No, you didn't, the girl. You didn't. Let's see. Wild Bill Wassman just laughed. All right. Yeah, hyoid boing. It's like you immediately say boing. If you do it, you can do it like this. Hyoid bone. Hyoid bone. Hyoid bone. That's not what you need to do it as quick as you can, like this. I'm fired out of it now. Hyoid boing, hyoid boing, hyoid bone, hyoid bone. Like that. See if you can do it. You gotta do it quick as you can. You can't do it. And if you say you can, you're lying. All right. I didn't, Gray. I really did, you bastard. All right. Okay. Why leave the phone and wallet? Did the offender want to avoid digital tracing? Then the next one is This one. Did they want investigators to rule out robbery? Why leave the phone? Huh, so that's sort of interesting, right? Like they're making it seem like they were purposely wanted to leave the phone and stuff there to make them rule out robbery, but robbery really was the motive. And they took like a credit card and took her to the bank, but it never, something like that. All right, then the last one here. Was Nancy lured outside voluntarily? No. I would say absolutely not. Given the fact that there's expirated blood droplets, she was walked out to the car in the driveway there. Yeah. These are questions that were developed by different AI things. But they're not really bad. Obviously, they have the case in their system now, I think. Yeah, well, I think she must have woke up in her bed, and the law enforcement has the exact time that she confronted the perpetrator because of her heart rate monitor. The monitor of her pacemaker is going to show a wild jump in there. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, she hurt her nose, and I think her nose was hurt. It's definitely coming out of her mouth, and she coughed up blood coming out. Is it more severe than that? We don't know. The only evidence we have is a minimal amount of bleeding, some droplets, and then a cough of expirated blood. And that's really it. We don't have any other... let me see this. Yeah, so this picture even has it. It's right there. Expirated blood. And there's definitely... remember that one person that said there's no voids? So she had to be carried out like a burrito? No way. I mean, look at all these spots here where a foot could be. Now, you can't tell if there's a void or not. There's just not that many drops to be able to say that. Why does my phone just keep going on and on and on and on? Hold on. I gotta turn this off. And thanks, Wild Bill Wassman up there, for doing that challenge. Funny you say that, Grey Hughes, because I was watching the clip of her showing Savannah and partners how to make a bed. It was at 3 a.m. Arizona time when she did it. So she might not have been in... I don't know. Karen, I don't agree with you there. Sorry about that. Let's see. It definitely wasn't... let's see. And what that might mean is, if it is 3 a.m., she got up early for her daughter's show to do it. Okay? That's it. It's not like she stayed up overnight. Let's see. Autocorrect. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Are you joking around, man? Tell me what you're saying. I don't have a point. We're just going over the questions, you idiot. Great. It's past 11 p.m. on the East Coast. Get to the point. Tell me what you mean by that, Jeff. Go ahead. We're going to pause the show for Jeff here. He's so interesting. Go ahead, Jeff. What is it? What do you got? Go ahead, Jeff. What do you got to say, man? You seem really interesting. People obviously tune in to see your comments in here. Let's see what we've got. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff. What is it? Got about 5 more seconds to answer. What an idiot, Jesus. Why leave the phone and the wallet? Extremely unusual abduction. And the last one was Nancy lured outside? No. All right, now we're moving on to the next question. And not for Jeff, we were just done. Was the suspect testing the camera? Did they, and then I guess the first one here is, did they want to see how long the camera takes to activate? You know, that one time, it is sort of, when he was standing there, did he check to see if it activated just on his motion standing there? And then maybe that's when he realized that there was a camera? All right, I'm gonna remove that Jeff guy. People that say stuff like that have no chance of working out. All right. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, we'll just time you out for 24 hours, see what happens. All right, let's see. Were they familiar with Ring cameras? Well, it wasn't a Ring camera, so it's a Nest camera. Could this have been a prior surveillance attempt? See, I guess that's what some people think is, you know, the one shot where he doesn't have the backpack on. Maybe that was a prior surveillance incident. You know, maybe a week or so before. You know, who knows, right? I mean, and it says, let's just say, were they familiar with Nest cameras? Now, if they did use a jammer, they probably were familiar with Nest camera, right? Well, we don't know if that's really the date, though. Nobody has a date for that one. Phi. They don't even know. People have guessed at that because that was one of the dates that law enforcement said, hey, check your cameras on those dates. It's just, we don't know. I don't know how they can't know that, though. Somebody did give an explanation. It just feels like the file would have a date on it. But I guess they're just sort of sectors that are written, and that isn't really a file. So I don't know. All right, here's another one. Why take Nancy alive? Removing someone from a home is high risk. That's true. Why not commit the crime inside the house? That's what we've said a million times. I mean, if it is a robbery gone wrong, why wouldn't you just leave her in there? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Just leave her in there. Okay, I'm just reading some emails here. All right, guys, don't let the lulls too long in here. We got to keep moving tonight. We got to make up some time for this month. Why take Nancy alive? Removing someone from the home is high risk. Why not commit the crime inside the house? That's exactly right. That's one of the conundrums of the case, right? How many? Let me say this. Put a 1 in the chat if you've gone over theories in your mind of what happened, but there's always this one thing that you go, but why'd they do that? I mean, because it's just, that's all you have in this one. Because of the lack of information, we don't know. There's always something that you go, oh. Yeah, so what I was trying to do was do like a theory, because even the abduction gone for Ransom gone wrong is a problem, isn't it? Hey, look at that. It's working. What we need is somebody to do a the avocado dance, because it's working again now. All right. We could even get the cat eye donation is working. I got the sound. I haven't heard those things in, it seems like, months now. I think they took her for ransom and she died on them. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what my main theory is, that it was an abduction for ransom that went wrong. They tried to figure out a way to get some money anyways, but were never able to prove that she was alive. Then Nancy, and then Savannah put out the message. The second message was, we understand now that our mom isn't alive. This is what I believe she meant in that. We understand that she's not alive. We want her body back so that we can celebrate her life with her here. And we're actually willing to pay for that, because it's the only way that we'll have peace. So we'll actually pay you money for you to say where she is. But then the abductor thought, if we contact her some other way, this might lead to our arrest, and then it would be for murder, and then we'd get the death penalty. And so they just went, forget it, and washed their hands and took off. You know, I think that's an absolute possibility. In fact, that's the one theory that doesn't have the, well, why'd they do this then? It all ties it in. Okay? The rest of them have the, well, a burglary that went wrong. Well, then why did you take her body if it was a burglary gone wrong and something really bad happened to her? You would just take off. Oh, unless she knew who you were. Well, how come she knew who you were? You had a mask on. Well, you took the mask. It just gets so complicated at certain times. Thank you, Kathy Freidenmaker. I don't know. Why not use the line from it? Karma's knocking. We don't do conspiracy theories here, all right? The only thing I get hung up on is why they didn't initially leave a ransom note. Because you're leaving physical evidence there that might tie back to them. You know, you write the note and you leave it there, and then they might be able to trace something back. And they didn't just send it to TMZ, though. Yeah, so there's the one part of my theory. That's right. So the one part of my theory that is pretty good, it has the, well, why did they send it to TMZ then? You know, they sent it to the other news outlets also, and maybe they sent it to them first, but they didn't say anything. So then the person sent it to TMZ, knowing that TMZ would say something. But why did he want TMZ to say something? Why did he care that the masses knew about this? See, that's a whole different level of psychology at that point. That's somebody that seems like a, you know, almost like a serial offender of some sort, a crazy person that wants, like a person who sets fires and burns, you know, and you sit there and watch the fire burn, a pyromaniac. You know, it's weird, right? Yeah, there are people that think it's this could be a terrorist event even. I mean, it's weird, but one of the people that is, you know, that was mentioned early on, and his face lines up, is from, you know, one of the Middle Eastern countries. So it's sort of interesting, you know, you never know how that might turn out. I'm just saying, it looked like when somebody did an overlay, I'm not a big fan of the overlays, but the way they did it was a little different. It seemed to match really pretty well, and it was somebody that seems to have sort of disappeared. So I guess we'll have to see what turns out of that. That person who did that thinks 100% you can't convince them otherwise, and that's usually what turns me off, is when somebody, in a case like that, you know, it's weird how people think it's equivalent to me saying Koberger did it. It's not even close, man. You got a probable cause document that was absolutely nailed into the wall, just like Tyler Robinson. And of course, yeah, you know, they did it. And so in this case, we don't have anything. So to just look at an overlay and say, oh, this guy did it 100%, that's too much. Did the offender need Nancy alive for information? So that's interesting, right? I haven't really thought of it worded like that. to take her out of there, meaning for like information to get into a bank account or other information. You know, something maybe about the daughter, but why? I mean, why not? Maybe she wasn't giving you the answers, so you took her out to try to get it somewhere else. I mean, that'd be crazy to take her somewhere and torture just to get information. That'd be ridiculous. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. And thanks, Lisa, for the coffee. All right, moving on to the next one. Was Nancy the real target? Yeah, I mean, so that's a question that some people wonder about. Could Nancy have been mistaken for someone else? No, I don't think so. I mean, if she was abducted, it's absolutely certain that she was abducted for because she's the mother of Savannah Guthrie. Now, this one says, was the house, kind of like in the Idaho 4 case, was the house itself the real target? See, that's what some people wonder about. Did they go in there to target stuff that was in the house? But see, this person must have known by monitoring the house for so long that she lived there alone and was by herself. I mean, it was kind of a known thing. So to go in there when she's in there, it seems like there would be a different reason that you went in there. That you went in there to get her. Not to... why not just watch, and then if she ever takes an Uber somewhere, you sneak in the back door, but that's not what you did. You went late at night because I think that's actually sort of some proof here. Like, think about it like this. If you knew that this person lived by themselves, why wouldn't you just sort of wait for her to leave at any given time and then go sneak into that house? Knowing that she wasn't going to be there, and then steal whatever you wanted to steal. Even though it's not late at night, the streets are not, there's not a lot of traffic there, there's not a lot of, and it's kind of hard to see. But in this case, they waited till way late at night. And that's because I think they knew they were coming out the front door. They already knew that. And so, to me, it really indicates that their goal was to take Nancy Guthrie out that front door to a waiting car that was visible on the camera. It would have been, had they not taken it off. All right, you guys, we need like one and a half or two more challenges, and we'll make the goal, or at least minimum level. Where's the... Yeah, right here, like in this shot right here. See that? I mean, right there is where his car would be. It would stick out like a sore thumb. I've never seen a real sore thumb that stuck out, but right there, you'd see the car pull up and park. They knew that would be an identifiable vehicle. So maybe it speaks to they don't have a generic type vehicle. Maybe it does mean that. It would still narrow it down to a type. So they removed this camera so that car could pull up right there. Did Nancy interrupt something already happening? No. She was home sleeping. I think there's probably some people that think that the guy was already in the house, but it just doesn't make any sense. 147, the camera was removed. 212, another camera. There would have been more motion detected. This all started at the front of the house and then moved to the back to enter. And then they were exiting the front door later at the last moment. So the rest of it was sort of out of view, and they took a calculated risk of the least amount of time possible having the car parked and also moving somebody out of the front of the house. Thank you, 5Fay1. All right, was the offender alone? All right, what do you guys think of that one? Could someone else have been waiting in a vehicle? See, that's something I can't say isn't true. That there wasn't somebody else that moved the vehicle to the front. And then down here it said, what do you guys think of that? Could someone else have been waiting in a vehicle? I guess when you say could, yeah, it's like, yeah. Sure, could have done this, could have done that. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's a lone wolf person, but could there be? Sure. Right? We can't say. You can't say no, Bengal cat. Could someone else have been waiting in a vehicle? If you're somebody that is a critical thinker, you have to say, yes, that is possible. That's just not what I think happened. Yeah, I think he's a lone person by himself. But yes, it's possible that somebody did, was around, like we don't see a lot of the footage. You could have walked over and said, hey, yeah, move it over. And then moved it over there. Yes. All right, who's going to do the next challenge, you guys? This one down here says, was the person on camera a distraction? No. Not at all. That person, it's interesting that the next motion is detected in the backyard. And you know how we figured that out is that the camera was, remember how they said at 2:12, motion was detected. Well, Nanos said at a hearing, or not a hearing, one of his press conferences, that he said, yeah, it picks up the motion of a person. I guess it could have been an animal. It's like, bingo. Well, you've just admitted the camera was outside. There's not like there's a cougar going to be running around inside the home, right? Was the person on camera a distraction? No. That person literally removed the camera to move the vehicle out. What am I looking at, Michelle? What am I looking at? We got one? We have a challenge? I don't see it. Darn it. All right, let's see. What are you doing? Look at Michelle H. Oh, okay. Well, you could do one. Hey, look at that. We got Jim Lawn has one. There we go. So there you go. Hey, look at, we even got one by Girl. So hey, how about that? We get 3 for 1er here. If we get 5, I'll donate 5. So how about if Jim Lawn, well, no, I'm saying we can all, how's that work? There's 2 of them active right now. Oh, Jesus. Is that a 4 for 1er then? We have 3 active. Man, you guys work it out, man. I don't know what the hell's happening here. You go, Jim Lawn said, I got 5 on it. And then the girl said, if we get 5, I'll donate 5. And then Marty said, I'll send Gray 5 in coffee if we get 5 gifted. So is that 3 for 1 then, or make it 15 for 15? All right. How about if they do 10, you guys? Because that's still kind of similar. Like it already got 5 anyways. Oh. I guess it means it's either 15 for 15 or there's 4 of them. What's the other one? What's the other challenge? Did I miss one? And there's Crowley 13. What does the camera tampering reveal? I'm trying to figure out what to say for the challenge here. That's a hard one. I don't see the fourth one. I just see 3. I see Jim, to girl, and Marty. So if Jim and I see 5, both will give 5. How about if we get 10 total, then all 3 of those make it? How about that? All right, so we're at 1 here. Does that sound good? Or is it just 5 for all of you to do? I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, I don't know. I would just make it 3-way challenge, 15 for 15. All right, I guess that's it. So we need 14 more coffees. It's hard to say that though out loud, but all right, I guess we'll give it a shot. Okay, what does the camera tampering reveal? Did they want to hide Nancy being removed? See, I originally was thinking that, but no. I don't think... What do you guys think? I think they removed the camera merely... Because they didn't care if they were seen on camera, and they know that Nancy was removed because she's not at the house anymore, so why would they care if that was filmed? I think it's more... that they don't want the car that's parked there to be filmed. Thank you, Jay Crow. 5:30. Well, I guess the first one kicks in, right? Now, hey, Lisa, you've already brought that up. Lisa Avenger Grift. Your name is sort of makes me wonder why you keep typing in over and over. All right. Does anyone know what led to law enforcement detaining the first suspects? I think they detained them because of their vehicle type, and maybe that they, when they looked their image up, they're like, okay, this looks kind of like the person, and they could prove that the car was generally in the area, and that was enough to get a warrant. Yeah, it's challenges to help support the channel. We do that in here. People say like, hey, we'll do 5 gifted memberships if 5 other people, and that allows us to bring in the revenue to the channel that allows us to donate thousands of dollars every month. Obviously, you must be a troll, though. Are they a new account there, Lisa? Well, did you just donate as part of your own? Hey, count that though. Cinnamon Sin Freak counts as 2. Okay, that's 2 of them. Doesn't have to be a gifted membership, just anything.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Did they want to hide Nancy being removed? Were they trying to delay discovery of the crime? No. That's not why they removed the camera. Did they believe the camera only recorded during motion? I think they knew that because of the type of camera it was. That's an interesting question. Did they believe the camera only recorded during motion? I think they knew it was, because they... I mean, I guess that doesn't really matter, right? If it's a 24/7 one, the removal makes it not work as well. Well, that equaled the first 5 if you want to do it that way. Why don't we just do them in order? Like whoever did the challenge won. Is that a better way to do it? Who was first? It was Jim Lawn. So how about Jim Lawn's challenge was met right there? How about we do it like that and then move on to the next one? Did they believe the camera only recorded during motion? I don't think that matters. Was Nancy expected to open the door? Did the suspect know Nancy might answer the door? There's people that think that. I don't think so at all, though. I think they came in the back and confronted her in the house. What do you guys think of that? Did the suspect know Nancy might answer the door? Oh, man. No way. Was it somebody she recognized? That's something that's unknown, you know. That actually is a reason why. Let's say the person went in there and somehow she figured out who it was, that they probably have to remove her and probably even kill her because she would reveal who they were. So that is something that we don't know. Could be related at some point. All right, so what are we doing in here for the challenges? We seem like we stuck and don't know where we're at. Jim Lawn, yours was met. I don't think the sheriff said that Nancy said that. What? Said what? What are you talking about? Did they use a pretext such as help or delivery? Yeah, that's sort of interesting. You know, those are the, they had the delivery. One guy that was pulled over was somebody that delivered boxes over there. There was the Amazon delivery there. Yeah, except Jim Lawn, he didn't do his, we got to complete each one, right? Not sure where his went. Yeah, we got to go on to the Girl though, all right? So we're on to Girl's challenge now. We need 5 gifted memberships to match that one, or super chats, etc. Came in back bedroom slider. When prosecutors were there, they spent a lot of time. So you think the person went through right over here? Like back there? I think her bedroom is right over here. This is the window, I think, in her house, right there. In her bedroom. I think that's the window in her room. And then she has a slider that goes out to a little deck here. Hey, thanks, Jim Lawn. Hey, now that Jim Lawn one just matched the... Yeah. Thanks, Jim Lawn. There's a back slider there. You're talking about right over here, right? I don't think that's a bedroom. I think it's a living room or something. I was looking at these pictures from way at the beginning here. What are these? Was that her house at one point? I mean, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at here. I just found them in a folder. Was this something else, or am I just... Kind of looks like it could have been what it looked like in there. I don't know what these pictures are, though. They were just in a folder from the 12th, a month ago, and I don't remember what they are. Does anybody remember these? Kick me in the balls. I gotta take... Oh, jeez. Jim Lawn. You type in the craziest shit, man. Someone set it out and just said it was her house. Yeah, I mean, I can actually see that. This looks kind of like you might... I think this right here, no, it's a storage room. I don't know where this would be right here. I don't know where this door would be.
Girl challenge. 2 hearts emoji.
Because there's a storage room, apparently. Or I guess, though, the storage room here might lead into... That doesn't make sense. So if there's a door there and not a slider, that would kind of work, I guess. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know. I really can't really tell what I'm looking at when I look at that. All right, so we've got 2 for the second challenge. So we just need 3 more on that one. All right, did they use a pretext such as a help or delivery? No. All right, moving on to this one. Did the offender expect Nancy to be alone? Would the crime still happen if others were present? No, I don't think that. I don't think if there was other people there. Does the timing suggest knowledge of her routine? I think a little bit. Like, I mean, what do you think? Doesn't it seem like they know that she'd be at home alone or something on this one? Like, they probably... Yeah, I mean, one thing I do sort of wonder about when she was dropped off, maybe the guy was even there watching at some point, watching her being dropped off and knew that she was there alone because he was waiting for her to be there. I think she is the target of this case. Thank you, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Hey, just 2 more of those, and then we'll be on to Marty's. Does the timing suggest knowledge of her routine? I think he just knows that she's there alone that night and every night, really. I mean, nobody ever... I think Nancy Guthrie probably spends the night at her house every single night, and nobody else ever spends the night over with Nancy Guthrie. And so that's just something he probably knew over time. Thanks, Sasquatch. It's not. You're not really. That's not a Sasquatch picture, by the way. It's a slee stack that we've mentioned many times. We're going to need to get that switched over to something more resembling a Bigfoot or. Right. Yeah. She probably came home. They got home at, you know, at 9:50. She's probably in bed by 10:30-ish, 11. And then got woken up at 2:14 or so in the middle of the night. And was removed from the house by 2:28, 14 minutes later. Didn't she just lose her dog as well? I don't know. It wasn't her dog. I think it was Savannah's dog that we see in that picture. She may have had her own dog that we're not really aware of. All right, we need 1 more gifted channel membership to reach Wild Bill Wassman's goal. Did the offender expect Nancy to be alone? Okay, we already did that one. We're on this one. Why that specific night? Did something earlier that day trigger the event? No. I don't think that. Yeah, I know where her room is located. We went over that the other night. I think it's right over here. That's the window in her room, and then she has her own little slider out to a little coffee area. That's my opinion. There's this lone window in the video of her right there. Oh, it's to girls goal. Oh, that's right. It's to girl, not Wild Bill Wassman isn't in this one. He already did one. To girl. I think it was actually she meant to write the girl. And wrote it wrong, but it just stuck. Yeah, I think that's her room right there. Makes sense. It's also right where you'd expect a room maybe to be, just kind of in the corner. And that would be a slider out to her own little porch area. I don't know. Might not be. Just my opinion. What's a grammar thing? Oh. Yeah, maybe. Might be able to see her through there. And maybe they were checking around in this wooded area over here, or whatever you call it, in between the homes. They were walking around a lot back in there. quite a bit. Here, I'll finish off this one. All right, here we go. Seems like we were struggling tonight again to get the... So I'll get the last membership of that. Of that one. All right. All right, so there you go. Those are the 5 for Tagirl. That does make sense if that's the master bedroom. Okay, and then it says, was the offender waiting for a specific opportunity? Thank you, Tagirl. It's a grammar thing. Don't worry about it. Was the offender waiting for a specific opportunity? I don't know. I just think that's the night he decided to go there, right? That's just it. So we already started on the next one? Okay, so the next one is Marty's Bar and Grill. He's going to send 5 coffees in for 5 memberships. And if we get to that one, I'll donate 5 memberships of myself, so it's really 3 to 1. We're trying to get as many people to be members here, and hopefully some of them stay around. It's only $1.50 for, if you want to stick, or $1.99, I mean, to stay around. It's a gamer thing. Yeah. All right, so that's the first one of Marty. So if we can get 4 more of those, I'll donate 5 more, and Marty he said he'd send in 5 coffees. All right, why that specific night? Did someone earlier that day trigger the event? Did something? Was the offender waiting for a specific opportunity? I mean, I think any night would have worked for this person. That's just the night they chose. I don't think it... I mean, her schedule's probably pretty predictable, don't you think? Was the offender familiar with the neighborhood? Did they know where the cameras and lighting were? Well, I mean, they did do the floodlights, and they knew at least where the front... I think they only cared about the front camera, you guys. I mean, that's the only one they cared about, because that's where the car was going to be parked. And they knew that that one would have a good shot of looking at what type of vehicle it was. And it could be that they knew where the other ones too, and you didn't want to pull all the way over by the garage, because then it's just absolutely clear as day right there. And there's a light, there's even a floodlight and a surveillance camera. So I think he just pulled up in the front. There's no floodlight there because I don't think they're allowed to have stuff like that that can beam out to the streets. Thank you, Jessica Schubach. Cool, me too. Me or Tunes if you want. Who are you talking to? Alright. Then we have, did they park somewhere hidden from view? Yeah. Well, that's what I think. I mean, that's my theory right there. You've seen it. My theory is they parked somewhere, something like this off the main street. Then they walked over to the house with their car parked somewhere else. They go inside here. They remove the camera, knowing that they're going to be parking here. Then they walked back to their vehicle, waited for a while to see if they set off any notifications and police may have shown up. They didn't. So then he pulls around, comes into here. These trees here block the view from that camera. Drives in, parks right there. And that's probably right around like 207, 208, maybe 209. Gets out, walks around the house, hops over this fence right there. This camera picks him up at 212, jumping over the fence. Then he breaks the floodlight there, That could have been done earlier, too. I don't know, except that would have recorded him, too. So I just think he broke the floodlights just so there wouldn't be a lot of light. Maybe, I don't really know. Maybe there was another reason. I don't know. But somehow the floodlights were broken. Maybe that was done a different day or something. Who knows? But anyways, he goes into the house somehow. I mean, either through this door and then into the house. But that's actually a storage room that looks like on the map that they have of it. So I'm not certain about that. But either way, this camera right here is what picked him up. He may have gone through here through the slider. Guess they're pretty easy to open anyways. And then probably interacted with Nancy at 2:14. Then took her out the front door at around 2:28 as her pacemaker stopped communicating with the base station, and her cell phone and watch were inside the home. Then she's put into the vehicle that's right there and then driven away. All right, we need 3 more gifted memberships up there. Hey, we got now just 2 because we got Sander Dreaming of Mercury. Thank you. All right. Did they park somewhere hidden from the view? I do, and then I think they moved it to where it would have been in view if that camera was still there. All right, and then here we go. 13. Was the offender comfortable taking, taking their time? Yeah, they did. Did they appear calm instead of rushed? Absolutely. Don't you agree with that? I mean, they look like they were just... Right? They didn't seem like they were in a hurry at all. And there's another bullet that says, a calm offender suggests planning and confidence. Yeah, it could be that they'd been there multiple times. It's possible that other video where he had no backpack was from a different night. He knew the area. He knew that it was just this old lady. He definitely would have time to get away if he could sense that she was calling somebody. It's just that neighborhood cops don't get there in 5 minutes. I mean, in 2 minutes. They get there in 15, Did they appear calm instead of rushed? A calm offender suggests planning and confidence. Alright, 2 more of those, you guys. We'll have reached the entire goal, and then I'll send in 5 myself. Did they appear? And then a calm offender suggests planning and confidence. Do you guys think he was confident or just, like, dumb? Like just somebody that's so stupid he didn't even realize what the hell was going on, Who's KB? I don't want to give KB those descriptions. I don't know who that is. Stoned. Maybe he was confident because he was dumb. You ever think of that? Marty said drugged. You think cannabis was involved? That's why he acted the way he was? He was just like, dude. He was like Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You're surprised he didn't order a pizza, And yeah. So we need $10 or 2 gifted memberships to get to the challenge of Marty's Bar and Grill. Was the offender comfortable taking time? Did they appear calm instead of rushed? A calm offender suggests planning and confidence. All right. Next one. Could the crime have been staged? Was Nancy already incapacitated before the camera movement? No. See, this is what people actually... I think they got this from the internet somewhere. Was Nancy already incapacitated So before 147. And there's just no way. They know the time that she interacted with somebody. They know it. And then what this one says was the camera interaction staged to simulate kidnapping. Now, what does that mean, Soundbird? Was the camera interaction staged to simulate kidnapping? Well, no, because she was kidnapped. I mean, you know, you don't have to stage it to look like kidnapping because she was removed, right? Where is she then? If it was staged, you'd find her in somewhere in the house somewhere. Yeah, no, it's you know, she was kidnapped. All right. All right, who's gonna do it, man? We just need 2 more gifted memberships. Come on, some of you freaks out there that hardly ever support the channel. Let's see if we can get those 2. All right. So, could the crime have been staged? Was Nancy already incapacitated before? That's no and no right there. What did the offender expect investigators to believe? Did they expect police to assume a random crime? That's kind of an interesting way to word that, right? What did the offender expect the investigators to believe? Did they expect the police to assume a random crime? No. Well, I don't think so, because removing a person seems to really, like, odds-wise, take it away from being random. Unless they were used to get their, like, withdraw money from their account or something. Did they expect investigators to ignore someone Nancy knew? I don't know when you say expect. Did they expect investigators to ignore someone Nancy knew? You mean like a family member or something, or one of the workers? I don't know why they would ignore them. They look at everybody that's close. Yeah, why do you say stuff like that, Jim Wan? Come on. I don't recall that either, Jim. I don't think Marty cares. I mean, he knows he's joking around. You guys, come on. After this whole night, we can't get the last 2 gifted memberships? We can do it. And I'm going to donate 5 myself. Be interesting when they finally catch this person. And why are those last 2 so hard in here? It's weird. We haven't even had a super chat in like 15 minutes. Well, there's one by Fi Fei 1. What's the origin of that name? Going to game my opinion. What does that mean? Sheriff was a dumb something with going to game my opinion. What? Fei. Oh, Fei. Fei, like that? Well, there's Jim Lawn. He threw it in there. Well, thanks, Jim Lawn. It's always the same people. It'd be great if we get some other people, you know. It's just a Snickers bar in some places. A gallon of gas, I guess, in California. Songbird. Thank you. All right, well, I'm going to send in my 5 now. That's 6 from me. And there we go. So thank you everybody who helped do those challenges throughout the evening. That was very cool. Appreciate that. If you weren't here just a couple days ago, we I don't know if Zozo's still here, but we donated our last $1,000 for our 4th round of scholarships that we're giving out to scholarships in the criminal justice world. We've already completed 3 $6,000 rounds. So 3 students basically. The first year, 2 students got 3, and then we said, well, let's just give 3 students $2,000. And then we did that the second 2 times, and then now we're on our 4th, so that just got completed. So we'll have given out $24,000 in scholarships for students in schools. Don't you think that's cool? I mean, I get a lot of shit from trolls and shit out there because I spend time on my show trying to bring in the revenue, because that's the only way we're able to do this stuff. That stuff's actually more important than the show itself, okay? Making a difference out there in the real world. We have here, all right? We've given $289,000 in 6 years, all right? Which includes over $100,000 into a DNA fund for identifying Jane and John Does. We did one from the 1960s. We also did one that was Daniel Armentrout. You can look that one up. Daniel Armentrout, look it up. You'll see that we did that. We also did, let's see. Yeah, it is about 40. During that matching set there, yeah, I was like, let's see. And we also, there was a serial killer that killed, I think 11 people, and 10 of his victims were identified, and there was one that was not identified. This black lady, she was in a hotel, and we paid for and had genealogy done, and they identified her and let the family know, but the family didn't want her name out there because she was a sex worker. You know, so they didn't want her name out there, but we identified a victim of a serial killer. So that's pretty sweet. And so we do a lot of good stuff like that. And, you know, I get a lot of crap because on my show I'll say, hey, everybody, if you can help support the channel, because I'm trying to move forward. You know, it's just, if you have shows where you bring in $30, you can't do it. All right, so if you're watching the show, I appreciate when you help support the channel. Some people support the channel a hell of a lot. I couldn't thank you guys enough, you know. I mean, I could sit here. There's many people that donate all the time, and I really appreciate that. Okay, but we've also given, if you didn't know, over $30,000 to each of these 3 organizations. Texas EquiSearch has gotten over $30,000 from us. RAIN, which is Violence Against Women, has gotten over $30,000 from us. And the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has gotten over $30,000 from us. We've also given money to Black and Missing, Indigenous Fund out there. We've given money to Wounded Warriors. We've given money. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. But we have some that we constantly give money to because we think I mean, who doesn't like Tim Miller at Texas EquiSearch? Those guys are amazing. So anyways, thank you guys. Obviously, I have an income that comes in and supports my channel, but we try to make a big difference outside as well. That's why I really try to push trying to bring in as much income as possible. Some people don't like it. They just want to show up to a show and watch it and just let, you know, and it's like, yeah, you can watch the show. Nobody's required to send in a nickel. Okay, but I'm still going to have to ask for it, because if you don't, I've noticed, you can go a whole show and like you might bring in $50. Okay, and you just can't multiply 50 times 30 days. That's 3,000, and then YouTube takes their cut. That's probably 2,000. And we donated 5 last month, 1,000. All right. All right. Cool. Hey, sorry to hear that. Daily. That sucks. Thank you, Saturn, dreaming of Mercury. All right, so what are you guys thinking about this? I thought those were pretty interesting thoughts in there. You know? So is this door right here? I mean, is that her backyard? I don't know. Let me look at that because I can kind of see a this brick wall back there. Let me just. That's interesting. I wonder if that's her. It's got to be the living room. Like it's looking out like right there. Is there grass down there? It almost appears to be. I don't think that doesn't even make sense really. Unless it's looking like that into that corner. Let's see. So it's looking into that corner. You guys see that wall back there, right? So it's at an angle. It's kind of... I wonder if that right there is this thing. And then that would mean that there's a door right over here. Here, let's go look at some helicopter footage. Yeah, let me try to find that again. Let's see. Fox News Digital Guthrie. No, it's drone footage, not helicopter. Alright, let's see what we can get out of this thing. Come on, go around. Go around. Well, I can see it down here, the little preview they got. Alright, there. Come on, keep going. God, these drone people are just... I'm telling you, you guys see the difference? Well, like when I go out and I film these places, it's worlds different, man. I make sure that we got the shots. Now get rid of these people, this idiot that showed up in here. Alright, hold on, that might have been something. So that's like an outdoor thing. That's not what this is. I don't know. Well, what's this pole here? Well, there is a pole. These poles right there. It's interesting. I don't know. This doesn't really make sense. That's actual real grass right there. That's not AstroTurf. If it was AstroTurf, it'd be one nice color. Isn't that crazy how you can see right here? There's the camera. We're looking at a different screen. You can't see the full one. Well, if I turn that off, you can see it. Yeah, right over here. You can see the solar panel and the camera itself, and you can see that on Google Earth. That just shows Google Earth does a really amazing detail that you can see from it. I mean, look right here. Can you see that right there? There's the solar panel, and that right there is the camera. So when you go on the Google Earth, look how amazing that is. It's just on a satellite 3D image. There's a little part of the camera that sticks out, and there's the solar panel. I think that's just crazy that you can literally see something that miniature on... I mean, imagine what the government has on their satellite. Yeah, so that's the camera there that picked up his motion, I think, when he came in. And now, I don't know if he went through that door, but apparently this light over here is broken. But when we look at the map of the house, that looks like it's a storage room. But why would you put windows on a storage room? Does that make any sense to anybody? Jim Lawn and Timothy Cecil are buddies, man. All right. That's actually kind of cool, isn't it? Wouldn't that be cool to sit in there and it's pouring outside? Just kind of, yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't know if that's the same. I'm not, it's hard to trust that this is the same house here. Because that's really the only place that could be. You know, it looks like there's a brick wall right there through that door. Do you see that? Is there anything that even looks like that? Let's see. Well, geez, right there, right? Shit. You know, I guess it, you know, God. It really, I guess it could be that shot right there. That's crazy, because right there, right? Is that inside the house? That looks like the brick wall right there. And then maybe it's filming into that corner. Yeah, and then it takes a right. And so that means like over that wall would be the swimming pool maybe. I don't know. It's interesting though. What do you mean no chimney? Yeah, I don't think there is a chimney on this. Don't you see what I'm talking about? Right there. Through the door. That's not going to be a chimney. There's brick right there. And then look at this right here. Maybe that is that undercovered area. See that little, this thing right there? That does look like that helicopter footage we were just looking at. I think that actually might be then. So maybe you come out this door, and then you're under this undercovered area. And then, yeah, and then it goes and then over to the right is more of the undercovered area because of the angle this is being filmed from. See the floor? So that, I guess that would be just like this. And so, yeah, I think that might be something. What do you mean the chimney's right there? What are you talking about? I'm talking about right here. There's this little part of a brick wall right there. See that? I don't know what you're talking about, Tagirl. What are you referring to? The chimney's right there. What do you mean? Oh, this thing. Yeah, those are like those stove ones. That doesn't mean that's a chimney. It means that it goes up and probably has a vent. I know what you're saying. It looks like a... I mean, that could even just be one of those fake ones. I doubt it, but... I guess let's look at the roof of the house, all right? So that would be right over here. I mean, look. I mean... That's like right where you might think that would be. See? Whatever that is. Let's look at the that footage again. I already got rid of it.
Here's what actually happens when you take a methylation genes test. You do a quick cheek swab, super easy.
Oh, this little, are you talking about this thing? Well, that is a chimney, but that's not what I was pointing at a minute ago. So that's probably it. That probably is her house then. That's wild, man. See that right there? That little chimney is probably the one that's just inside the house. And then you go out that little door and it brings you out right over here. And then that's the wall there. So that really is her house. Man, that's insane. Wow. That's crazy. Look at that, man. All right. Let's open that again then. Which one is that? Is that further out in the same room as... No. So if you look at that again, there's a chimney right there. So maybe that's exactly what that is. And then right over here, these are the poles that are outside. But that's the far left one when looking out. And see, then that's the corner over there, how the wall goes like that and then turns. So I think that that pole is this one right there. And the angle we're seeing it at is like this. Okay, but you're only seeing this pole, not that one. I think that is it. Wow. That's crazy, huh? Yeah. Hey, thanks for that there. For us to look at that, girl. That got us to look in the right place. I think that really is it. That actually is her living room. Let me go back over here again. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So right there is the chimney that was in that living room. See that? This pole right there is, because of the angle of the camera, it's filming from inside of here out this direction. Yeah. So the footage is coming out here, so it's only picking up that pole there. Had it filmed straight or moved over a little bit, you might see that one. But you see this wall going like that. You see that chimney is exactly where it's supposed to be in this picture right here. That's exactly right. And then, so that means there's a little window there, and there's this door. So that's interesting, right? That means that that door there could be the door that he went in, which is that is more likely, because apparently the other door had, let me show you. Right here, look. See, apparently this is that's a storage unit. So this is the garage, and then that right there is a storage. And then you can go into here. So let's see. Oh, look at that. And there's the patio. Right? And then so that means just looking at this, that means the chimney was right there. And then there's two chairs right over here. And you can't even walk out that way. Then there's a door right over here that puts you out onto this. Wow, that's amazing. Jesus. That literally is the inside of the house. Wow. Okay, well, let's take a look. So I think that proves it, right? I wasn't sure at all, as a matter of fact. But I think that every element lined up there, if it's not the house, it's one that looks just like it. I mean, it's crazy. Let's look at some of these other ones then. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Now, I think this is from the garage here. Let's take a look at that other map again. First floor. So let's say you're in the garage and you came out. And let's say there's a door. Where would that be though? I mean, I guess that could be... You know what? That's right. You know what? Never mind. I screwed up. The storage unit does not have a door on it outside. That's right. That door is right here. I remember coming up with that the other day. That door that we're looking at is right here. That's what I think that's what comes in. So it's right near the edge. So it's probably a little bit in even. All right. So if we take a look at this, there's a storage unit. There's another map that actually had the precise drawing. Where the hell did I do with that? Is it this one? Yeah, this one right here. Look. So that is 8 feet 6 inches, right? So this is the garage. This is the back. This is the patio over here. There's the storage unit. And I think there's a door right over here. Okay, so let's just try to do it. 8.6 feet. So we can open this up. And we're going to measure. Now, I guess, I don't know. Well, what is that? Is that the storage? Right there? This little... No, it's even. I'm going to have to see, though. There could be storage right inside of here, but now that's starting to look like... let's measure this. From right here to there is how far? Hey, that's 5 feet. So if you go to here, that's 8 feet. So that means that door is part of the storage. Unless... well, I'm not sure what this is. That doesn't appear on the map. Is that the storage? This thing? Right over here? That looks like the air conditioning place. I don't know. I guess that is the... No, that's AC over here for sure, but I don't know. It's weird how... See how it's... on the map, it doesn't jut out like that. It's part of, like, there's the garage and then the storage, and it's even like that on the other map as well. This one, see, that air conditioning unit's over here, like that. So I don't know. It just seems like that door would come in right there. But it could be that you come into the garage. And let's see what we can see outside of any of these windows.
Making how-to videos used to take me hours.
Oh, man.
I'd record, mess
no
up,
idea where
start
that's
over,
playing.
and edit forever.
Oh, there it is.
Until I finally set it down.
Oops. There's only one door that goes into the house from the front area, and there's one or two in the, let's see, so that door, is there any, I need to find something that's like an overlap of another image. Can that be that? No. That's weird. There's like no overlapping images. Can't find them. And where's that? I mean, what is that looking out at? We've already taken care of the room that had the wall with the... Or is this... Okay. Is that that? That looks like a piano or something over there. It's weird, isn't it? Doesn't it seem like that window is the same? It could be that one. Maybe a different time. I don't see that. It's not the same though. Like this wall isn't the same. Who knows? I feel good about that being the house. I just don't know where those other ones are. It is 3,000 feet in there, so it's pretty big. I just don't know where each place is. No, her kids didn't fail her at all. Hey, caregiver, go do something else. You're not interesting. Yeah, sitting here blaming people after the fact is a complete waste of time. Yeah. I don't know where the window is, though, Alyssa. You know, where's the windows that you're talking about? Let's see, so it'd be like this then, right? Oh, is there a big window right over here? Hey! So right there, maybe, right? Oh, okay. Good, yeah. So let's see, it's like that. We're kind of looking at it like that. So right when you come through the front door, that front door should be right over here to the left then, right? So you come through the front door and you turn, and then the chimney is on the left there, and then there looks like there might be a window there. I wasn't able to make that out. I thought that was a wall or something. And so, let's see. You're looking there, and that means when you go to her room over here, she can go out there. I don't know if there's a way out from here, though. You know? I mean, that could be a slider there. I don't know. Could just be a tall window, but she can get there from her bedroom, I think, which is right there. That's my opinion, is where her bedroom is. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, so that is right. That makes sense. Yeah, and it kind of has that shape too, you know? It almost looks like, see the wall there on the right? And this roof line thing kind of matches that. So then there must be, after you go inside, if you went straight, maybe that's what these other pictures are. You got that one. So is that what it also looked like when you come in? Hey, hold on. That might answer it. All right, is that wall right here that you can barely see, is that this one? So you come in, you turn left, you're in the living room. But if you go forward, you go to the kitchen. And then that goes to the garage. Boom. I think that's exactly what this is. That's how she got it through the garage, is right there to the right. So think about it like this. I'm just guessing here, but you come in, and then I think, gosh, I don't know. Maybe, is it right over there, though? I bet you that door is right over here. So that wall, you come in, right over here is maybe that part in the kitchen, maybe right over there. And then that door is right here that goes into the garage. Kind of makes sense. And then just to the left there is that living room area. So right now that picture is being taken probably like right, let's see, probably like right in this area right here. If you went to the left, you go down into the living room, but then the kitchen is well, no, God, see, how does that work then? Where the hell's that other living room then? I don't know, because that right there is the chimney for that other picture. Fuck. That is crazy. Remember the chimney that we saw earlier? That could be, maybe you go around there and that's back over, it's around there. We just don't know what the layout is. I mean, we'd have to have the layout to know. It's kind of difficult. Welcome, Cheryl Harrington. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right. Anyways, thanks, everybody. I think I'm going to take off. I appreciate you guys' support. Been a long day. I did 3 hours earlier during the Tyler Robinson hearing, and we are currently at 2 hours, and so 5.5 hour day here. Yeah, reverse Tetris. That's about right. That's about right. Anyways, thanks to everybody for your help trying to get this figured out. That was pretty cool. Girl got us going on that last part there. That was pretty good. On the chimney there. I thought you were talking about like a big chimney. There's this little one right over here. Well, that chimney was right. Where was that again? Yeah, it's right there. So that means that's this thing. And the kitchen. I don't know. God, I'd love to have a floor layout. Just even a sketch of some sort. That'd be awesome. All right. Well, thank you. I want to say thanks first to the out here to Lisa Valenzuela, who did a couple coffees. Then we've got Marty's Bar and Grill, who did a couple buckets there. Very kind. Thank you so much, Marty. And then Sherry, excuse me, got a coffee too. And I think that's it. Wait, hold on. Yeah. All right, then in here we had, let's see, Cheryl Bullock, who always starts off the show there. Girl, 8 months. And Girl did a super chat. And Wild Bill Wassman, Crowley 13, Joel Burnt, Mary Melinda, Girl gifted one. Danny Mitchell gifted one. And Girl gifted 5. I think that was a challenge there. Then Missy 6, 18 months of pure hell, right, Missy? And then Hellfly 83 gifted one. Then Wild Bill Wassman gifted one. Then South Texas guy gifted one. Then Paul Marino, super chat. Said Marino is here. Then Horse Teeth, Cow Teeth, the best name of the day. Horse Teeth, Tony Morrow, the cousin of Paul Morrow from Fox News. Said all the NG stories like this article with no new news, yet missing retired Major General William Neal McCaslin gets almost zero coverage. Well, at least we've covered it. Roger Smith. Best channel on YouTube. Man, I couldn't agree more. And Girl gifted 5 memberships. Michelle H. super sticker. Tracy Von Bratt gifted a membership. Michelle H. gifted a membership. Katie's Corner gifted a membership. Sassy Squatch, that looks a hell of a lot like a slee stack from the movie Land of the Lost, with one of the cheesiest, worst intro videos you've ever seen in your entire life. Go look it up. And then Autumn Nell Baker. And then Karen W. gifted 1. Then Wild Bill Wassman gifted 5. There's a challenge in there. Then Elizabeth Capone Cook, super chat. 5 Fay. Or, I think they said Fay. Kathy Freidenmaker. Wild Bill Wassman. Fay. Crowley 13 gifted 1. Then J. Crow gifted 1. Then Wild Bill Wassman. Then Cinnamon Sin Freak. That's one of my favorite names out there. Don't you think that sounds pretty cool? Cinnamon Sin Freak. That's pretty good. Jim Lawn. Wild Bill Wassman. See, Wild Bill Wassman, he's always doing the, it's just deader than a doornail. He throws something in there. Keeps something moving along. He doesn't have to, but he does it. And whenever you can't do it, don't do it. And then Tracy Von Bront. Bront. Jesus. Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Then the Slee Stack again. Or Sassy Squatch. Then we had, I gifted 1 to reach that one. Then Tagirl gifted 5. Because mine met the 5th one of that one. Then there was one last challenge, and we had Wild Bill Wassman, Jessica Shoebox, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury, Faye, Jim Lawn, and then we had Songbird first, and then I gifted 5 more because you guys did that. And then Miss Kyla gifted 1, Randizzle Randy, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury, and Cheryl Harrington became a new member. All right. Well, thanks, you guys. Did you guys find that interesting? I thought it was kind of interesting going over all those questions, right? Makes you think about a lot of different stuff. I think when I put everything together, my best guess would be that this case is a ransom attempt that went wrong, and they still tried to get something originally with those. I think those original emails could have been from the real person. If they're not, then you sort of have to change things, but they seemed like they really believed those. And then they gave up on that, knowing that it could lead to them getting caught, and they don't want to deal with the ramifications of a murder, so have just sort of washed their hands with the situation. So that's kind of like my best guess, right? With your bow. I know what that means. Uh-oh. What's going on with the dogs? Wonderful India old. Oh, that's right. They're being taken out to go to the bathroom. She just got here. Oh, there they go. Anyways, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. And, special thanks to all the individuals who were always helping multiple times. Thanks, Wild Bill, Marty, Tagirl, everybody tonight. Tagirl. There's just so many people that multiple different super chats and whatnot. So I appreciate that. All right, I think we might today altogether might have made up for that a couple of those days that we just went. Or there was one day the other day that was about 200 less than just an average day, so we got to almost making up for one of those. All right, well, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys later. All right, I really appreciate it. Are you looking them? Are you hooking them? I don't know what that means. But we'll see you guys later, all right? So until tomorrow, who knows what tomorrow will bring. I'm sure it'll be interesting as well. I think something's going to happen in this case in a week. It just feels like there's something that we're not being told that's just going to go boom. And then the sheriff's going to come out and be able to laugh in everybody's face and say, we had this the whole time. I just had to make them not realize it. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be amazing, you guys? Let me just say this. Wouldn't it be amazing if some of the stuff the sheriff is doing turns out to be intentional to give comfort to a person that they believe did this, and they're just trying to get the information and stuff together to make that arrest? Wouldn't that be amazing? There'd be a lot of people out there with a hell of a lot of egg on their face. That'd be amazing. That would be freaking cool. That'd be cool for him. I'd be happy for him. All right? So, anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Uh-oh. Hold on, I gotta go back to this mode over here. Be safe out there? Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person. This whole time, Mary Lou, Jesus. Crime
Gosh, great, you have to be me to me, gee.
Certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya.
I'll set you, if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector. And I'm always gonna be a pop attacker. Full of vector, interceptor. And I'm evil than a spectre with a vector.
With all respect, y'all. Just remember, I've a total fucking check ya. I have
no agenda, I'm a pretender.
and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work, alright? Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we cover true crime using logic, reason, and common sense, something completely void in the rest of the true crime community. Thank you very much for watching, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. All right, see you guys. Thank you guys very much.